I'm just gonna pin me, and to focus the practice tonight, a few standing poses, a little bit more holding and finding some strength, but also working with the shoulders a lot in the spine and then a bit in the neck. So if you're feeling a bit tight or gripping in the jaw, or just from sitting and kind of being on the computer or cleaning or whatever, to kind of to release that a little bit. Okay, so you can go ahead and mute your screen, and then when you're ready, make your way onto your space and find a comfortable seat. So we'll start seated. So I'm going to sit cross-legged. That's comfortable for me, but whatever's comfortable for you. So sitting up on a cushion or having a pillow nearby is always nice. Always an option to lean against something, come to a wall space, something like that. So as you arrive, get all the little kind of wiggles out, adjust yourself so that you feel pretty steady. Your spine is nice and tall. And then, like we have done lately, I'm going to invite you to anchor your hands onto a part of your body of your choice. So maybe the hands come to the space of your heart there. Maybe you prefer to bring hands to the legs, or maybe hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. So don't think about it too much. Let it be kind of intuitive. The first place the hands go, let them connect and rest there in this gesture of self-holding. And maybe as you feel the pressure of the hands resting on the body, you can invite a little bit of softness across the face. I'm going to close my eyes. You're invited to do that as well if you want to. Beginning to notice what you're feeling right now in this moment as you start to slow the body down and find a few moments of stillness here at the start. And so maybe today is a day where the mind is really active, thoughts and stories are buzzing, and that's okay, that's absolutely human. But see if with each passing moment as the body settles here, if you can bring more and more of your awareness and your focus to what's right here, what's accessible in the here and the now. So for me, what's accessible is the feeling of my seat grounding down, little sounds around me, letting them kind of come across my awareness. And then I can also anchor into not only my hands, but also my breath as it starts to move a little bit deeper into my body and out of my body. So when you feel ready, I'll invite you to take up space with your breath a little bit more. So inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling however you'd like, maybe through the mouth. Trying that again, filling up with the inhale, letting it pour out with your exhale. So sending a message with your breath to your body that for the next 30 to 40 minutes, showing up to each moment of your practice, trying not to control, trying to experience and feel. Taking breaks whenever you need it, and showing yourself a bit of patience, a bit of compassion, and gratitude for taking this time. And when you're ready, begin to blink your eyes open. You can change the seat a little bit to make yourself more comfortable. We're going to be here for a little bit longer as we start to wake up through the body. On your next inhale, expand your arms out to the sides. And then as you exhale, give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around, maybe drop your chin to your chest. And then inhale, expand and open. Feel your seat grounding. And then with your exhale, maybe change the cross of the arms as you embrace, hug everything in. And keeping this going for a while, inhaling to open and exhaling to close. Moving at your own pace with your own breath. Finding a bit of expansion with every inhale and a bit of connection with every exhale. And also starting to build a little bit of heat. Arms are active. They might already feel a little bit tired. You can stop and join us whenever you're ready if you need a break. Good. How about 2 more? And then on your next inhale, take it nice and wide, reach it long. And then hands by your sides as you exhale, maybe pause, take a breath. And then just to get us out of our habits, if you're sitting cross-legged, I'm going to invite you to change the cross of your legs. So it feels a little bit weird. From here, we're going to wake up the side body and wake up the spine. Left hand's going to come down beside me. Maybe it's on fingertips. Grounding through the hips, take the right arm up to the sky. And for a moment, find a brief side bend, leaning over to the left. And then we're not going to stay here for too long. I'm going to bend my right elbow and hold on to the back of my head with my right hand. As I inhale, turning my chest to the sky. And then as I exhale, inviting my right elbow towards my left knee. So inhale, ground the left hand, turn the chest up. And then with your exhale, elbow towards knee, gazing down. One more time, inhale, open and twist. And then exhale, turn and twist. As you inhale, take that right arm back up to the sky, help it pull you up to center, and bring the right hand down. Maybe close your eyes, noticing any difference between sides. Maybe a little bit more heat, a little bit more buzzing and energy. And then second side, right hand or fingertips come out beside you, grounding through the left hip so the pelvis stays super anchored as you take the left arm up to the sky. Leaning the upper body over to the left, keeping your belly strong there. And then staying here, or we're gonna bend that top elbow, hand behind the head. You don't have to go very far, but when you're ready, inhale, think about peeling the chest open. And then as you exhale, turn down with the heart elbow towards that right knee. With our breath, keep it going. Couple more times, you don't have to wait for me. So opening up through the shoulder girdle, finding a bit of twist and space in the spine. How about one more time? And then when you're ready, rising up into your seat, taking both arms up to the sky and maybe circling through the wrists, spread the fingers nice and wide, maybe circle the jaw, open the mouth really wide, maybe stick out the tongue. And then start to circle the wrists down as the arms come down by your sides. And then turn yourself around to all fours. Find a tabletop position. So from this table, fingers spread nice and wide. Knees can be as wide as the hips or a little bit wider. And before we start to move into the spine, we're going to work a bit more into the hips and the hip sockets. So one of my favorite things to do to get into my hips and my pelvis is I start to draw some big circles through my pelvis and my hips. So I sway to the side and forward and to the side and back. So I'm almost feeling or imagining my femur bones kind of rotating in my hip sockets. So kind of getting a bit of movement there, a nice flossing of the hips. And you're making this your own, you're going at your own pace. And then if you'd like to change the direction of your circles, all the while feeling the hands really grounding down, keeping your face nice and soft. No need to hold any tension there. Breath is nice and free. And then starting to draw smaller circles, almost like you're spiraling yourself to center. And then some more traditional cat and cows. Toes can be tucked or you can bring the tops of the feet down. As you inhale, gentle back bend, gazing forward, shoulders back, belly down. And then exhale, pull the navel to the spine as you round the upper back and let the head go, maybe a little sway side to side. And then off you go for a few rounds of breath. Inhaling as you find a gentle back bend, and then with your exhale, lots of space across the back body. I'll invite you to close your eyes at any time. That's always a great opportunity to focus less on how the pose looks and settle into more of how the pose feels in your body as it's happening. Any other movements, swiveling through the hips as you circle through the spine might feel nice. And then come to center. Take your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes towards each other behind you. And as much as the body allows, invite the hips to drop back towards the heels. So this is a point in your child's pose where if you're able to kind of drop everything down, that's amazing, go for it. But if it feels a little bit tight, maybe you grab a pillow or a couple pillows out in front of you and you kind of cuddle up with the pillow to bring the floor to you. No matter where you are, feel a bit of heaviness through the hips. Maybe a gentle sway from side to side as you take another deep breath in. Maybe it pours out of the mouth. And then starting to take yourself forward. If you have that pillow, it can go off to the side. Returning to your tabletop to build a little bit more space in the back body. My left hand is gonna stay exactly where it is, fingers spread wide. I'm gonna come up onto my right fingertips. I'm gonna tuck my toes, that feels a little bit more grounding for me. And then from here, keeping the belly strong, I'm gonna send my left leg straight back behind me, with that leg pretty parallel to the floor. So notice if your belly's kind of dropping, if you're finding a little bit of a back bend, think about hugging the ribs in, firming the low belly. So there's a long line from the crown of the head all the way back to the heel. You can stay here with the right fingertips down, or maybe you take your right hand to your heart. Right hand can stay on the heart. You could also bring it to your belly, connecting with that strength, that seat of power. And then really trusting that left hand and the right foot. We're gonna do some pulses with this left leg. So start to pulse this leg up and down. For 5, for 4, engaging that glute and hamstring for 3, for 2, and 1. Right hand comes down. Bend that left knee and draw some big circles through that left knee. You can bend the elbows a little bit. And then set that left knee down. Maybe take a moment to circle out the wrists, kind of let that go. And then we're going to try the second side. So the right hand, fingers spreading wide, really grounding down. Tenting up onto left fingertips is a choice. And then from here, belly is strong, sending that right leg back behind me. So I'm trying to drop my right hip a little bit, keep my sit bones, my hips rather, nice and even. Lengthening back through that right leg, and then without moving anything except the hand, left hand can come to your heart. If you fall out, you can come right back in, no worries. I'm really feeling my heart beating. Hand could stay there, hand could come to the belly. And then to work on that back leg, little pulses here. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Your choice, friends. You can drop back to a child's pose. You can stay in your tabletop and circle through the spine and the hips. And then whenever you're ready, since we've just activated and strengthened the backs of the legs, let's bring a bit of stretch to them. Taking the hands a little bit forward of the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. Tucking the toes, start to firm the belly up. And then over the next few breaths, pressing the mat away, lifting the knees, and then up we go, downward facing dog. Take it up and back. So working with that same energy and movement from our tabletop, you might kind of circle through the hips here, bending the knees a bit. Maybe coming up high on your tippy toes. Maybe heavying one heel at a time as you bend the other knee deeply. Finding a bit of space in the backs of the legs. See if you can let your head go. Maybe shake it yes. Shake it no. And then looking up towards your hands. Bring a generous bend to your knees. Start to take a walk towards the top of your mats. You might not get very far. Whenever you feel like it's getting a little bit tight there, you can come up higher on your hands and walk the rest of the way up. Forward fold, Uttanasana, top of the mat, feet a comfortable distance apart. Let the upper body dangle. Hands can reach towards the legs or the floor. You can grab for opposite elbows. Let the arms be heavy, inviting the spine to really drip down. Always a reminder to bend your knees if you need some more support for the low back and the backs of the legs. And then let the arms dangle heavy wherever they go. Keep the head heavy. Ground into the feet and then slowly start to roll your way up to stand. Keep pressing into the feet. Take yourself all the way up. And when you get to the top, maybe bring the shoulders up by the ears before they drop down. Good. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me. I'm going to bring a bend to my knees. Feet a comfortable distance apart. Then keeping the legs nice and steady, let the arms fall by the sides, and we're gonna find a little bit of a swing and twist for the upper body. So I'm gonna turn and kind of tap. So sometimes I do this movement with the legs a part of the conversation. You kind of twist with the legs, and that can be fun. But for this one, legs are really strong. So you feel that anchor and that grounding. The hips stay nice and square forward as the upper body finds lots of space. I'm going to invite you to really let go here. So let the arms be really free. You might even let out a sigh or find a deeper breath. So really freeing up the spine, freeing up the shoulders. And then start to slow it down. Start to rise up to stand tall again. Arms can come by your sides. Soften your gaze. Take a moment to notice what kind of stirred up for you. If the heart's a bit faster, the breath a bit quicker. Take a moment to feel your feet on the ground. And before we move into some standing poses, we're going to take an opportunity to do a little bit of an eye exercise. So a lot of us during this time of quarantine or being home, we're staring at screens, we're staring at different devices, and many of us aren't in a place to be able to really be outside. I know some of us are, but many of us aren't. So this eye exercise can be a great way to break up staring at screens or being in meetings all day. So I'm going to take one hand to my belly as a nice anchor, a nice resource. I'm gonna take my other hand out in front of me with my thumb up, like a thumbs up. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, and I'm gonna keep my head on straight. I'm gonna bring my gaze to my right thumb. And then keeping my head on straight, I'm gonna begin to take my right arm out to the side, and I'm gazing at that thumb the whole time. So I'm kind of seeing how far I can go before my eye muscles are a little bit like, ooh, that's good enough. And then I slowly take the thumb back to center, gaze follows the thumbs, come back to center. And then I change sides, maybe right hand comes to belly or the opposite hand. My left arm's out in front of me, my thumb is right at eye level. I keep my head on straight as I begin to take my left thumb out to the side as slowly as I'd like, inviting the eyes to follow out to the side. Taking a moment to pause, and then slowly focusing as I bring that thumb back to center. And then gently release. So we won't do more of that, but if you ever want to do more, you can take the thumb to the side, you can take the thumb up to like the right hand corner, down to the bottom corner, just experiencing and getting the eye muscles to be a little bit stronger, okay? So back at the top of your mat, if you're not there already, hands can come to the heart. Let's bring a little bit of movement now. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, bend a little bit into the knees and drop yourself down into a forward fold. Head is heavy. As you inhale, first halfway lift, walk the hands up the legs, lengthen spine. Exhale, refold, drop down, gaze back. Inhale to stand up, arms can reach out, they can reach up, you can look up. And then exhale, hands come down to your heart, gaze can come down. One more of those, inhale, reach up. Exhale and forward fold, take your time. Inhale to that halfway lift, lengthen through spine. Exhale and refold, let it go. Inhale to rise, take it up, maybe look up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Take a big step back with one foot. I'm going to take my right foot back. And then turn your toes in towards each other. Feet are nice and wide. Toes are now going to turn out, heels in. And then when you're ready, start to sink the seat low, bending into the knees, coming into your goddess squats. So my knees are moving in the same direction as my toes. I don't have to sink very deeply to feel a whole lot here. We're going to work a little bit more into side body. If you need to come out at any time, you can. If you're ready to join me, take your arms out like little goalpost arms, like cactus arms. Yeah, a little bounce in the legs might feel good to distract you from the intensity that's building there. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your right elbow towards your right thigh. Maybe take your left arm over your left ear. Whoa. Inhale, come to center, both elbows bend. Exhale, left elbow towards the left thigh, right arm reaches up. And then I want you to keep going. Every exhale, you take it to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. I know it's a lot. Your legs are like, what are we doing? See if you can hang out with it for one more round. Oh my gosh. Last one for me. And then we come back to center. Take the hands over the heart. Either straighten the legs or lift your heels. For 3, for 2, and then 1. Heels ground. How slowly can you straighten your legs? Maybe open your arms wide, palms forward. Take a deeper breath. Let all of that work sink in. And then look to the top of your mat. Step forward, back to where you started at your mountain pose. To work our way down to the ground, we're going to flow. Inhale, reach overhead. With your exhale, forward fold, down you go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, gaze slightly forward. Exhale, start to fold, bend the knees until your hands can come down. Step yourself back to a plank pose. So options here, this is our last little bit of fire. If your wrists feel quite fatigued, or you feel like you want to take an option that's a little bit less intense, knees can always come down. Or if your wrists are really upset, you can come down to your forearms and take a forearm plank. Whatever you decide, can you choose something where you're definitely working, but your breath can still be there? We're gonna hang out for a few more moments. And notice how quickly you're seeking the end. Notice how you treat yourself in these moments of really intense shaking and uncertainty. We're here for 3, for 2, 1. Knees come down if they're not already. Oh, child's pose. Take it back. Maybe grab your pillow. Relax it down. Let it go. Taking deep breaths into the depths of your belly as best you can. And exhaling completely. Staying wherever you are if you need more time to integrate and to find a sense of center. Otherwise, please meet me in a seat. So I'm going to turn to you so you can see me. I'm going to take my right leg out long. I'm going to bend my left knee in. And then I'm going to open my left knee out to the left. So some folks, when they come into this pose, they're really trying to get that left foot to the inner right thigh, and that's fine. But you can bring that left foot anywhere along the inseam of that right leg. And if here you really feel like that left knee is quite lifted, it feels uncomfortable, it's always an option to support it, maybe with that pillow, so that you feel a little bit more steady. So I'm sitting up nice and tall. I can bring my hands by my sides, really proud heart. And if this is enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, over the next few breaths, you'll invite your upper body to start to lean forward, either between the legs or a little bit more towards that right leg. Hands can rest wherever they want to. Feel the grounding of your pelvis and feel a lot of length in the spine with every inhale. And then with your exhale, you're either sitting tall or you're finding a little bit more of a fold. Right toes nice and active to the sky. Right knee nice and active to the sky. Last breath here. And when you're ready, beginning to take yourself up if you were down. And then we're going to keep that left knee bent, maybe slide the pillow out of the way, and then bringing the soles of the feet together. Hands can come to the shins, the ankles, the feet, and maybe a little bit of a butterfly action, bouncing the knees gently here. Nice full breaths. And then second side, this time the left leg is gonna extend out long, left toes to the sky. Right knee is already bent. I'm gonna externally rotate through that hip. Right foot comes somewhere along the inside of that left leg. If that knee is quite lifted and you wanna support it, maybe a book or a pillow underneath that outer thigh. Sitting up tall, shoulders away from the ears, really free in your neck. This is enough of a place to be and breathe. It's amazing. Otherwise, beginning to mindfully lean the upper body forward, finding your stretch, And maybe you feel the stretch in the back or the hamstring or maybe that inner thigh. Doing your best to be present with the sensations that are happening as long as there's no pain. And then choosing to not be anywhere else but in this pose for a couple more breaths. And then slowly come on up and begin to scoot yourself forward on your mat so that you have the space to lie back. As you lie back, if there's any final movements that you're craving, we're already pretty much at the end of our time together. So I'll invite you to settle right into your Shavasana, to your place of rest and relaxation. Maybe the arms and legs extend long away from the torso. So giving yourself permission to soften down for a couple of minutes. Maybe letting the breath go. Inviting a sense of release from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. And if the thoughts are really starting to swirl, which is totally normal, you always have the choice to bring the hands closer to the body as that anchor to bring more awareness to the body, to what you're feeling. Taking rest, slowing down in order to really take in all of the work that you've done. So we are at just about the 40-minute mark. So instead of guiding you out of Shavasana for today, I'm going to invite you to stay for as long as you want to take all the time you need to rest, to really receive whatever you need from this practice. And I'll bring my hands together, and then wherever you are in your place of rest, deep bows to you for your breath and for your practice. Thank you so much.